Hi guys, this is a review of the JSB Exact Monster 25.39 grain pellets. I combined them with the Sumatra 0.22. The first thing I did was to see at which power level I got the best accuracy. For that I shot 5 shot groups at power level 6, 7, 8 and 9. As you can see, at power level 6, the first average feet per second was 915. Then it went down to 888 and 865. From what I could see is that every shot, the average feet per second goes down by about 10. So the first shot will be around 1000, the second one 990, then 980 and so forth. Sometimes you'll get two shots that will be very closely together, but then the next shot will fall 20 feet per second. So average you will drop around 10 feet per second for every shot, and that was pretty consistent throughout all of the power settings. So for all of my accuracy testing, I decided to use power level 9, which gave me about 25 good shots, and it was also the most accurate. If you go any higher, the feet per second doesn't go up much, but the air usage is a lot more. So on power level 9 with the 25 grain JSBs, the Sumatra works pretty well. You will get around 25 good shots. This accuracy testing was done at around 18 meters, that's roughly 20 yards, and most of it is pretty much hole in hole for the faster speeds, and the slower speeds they don't really stabilize very well. Here we have some slow motion penetration testing just to see how deep the 25 grain penetrates, and also the hydrostatic shock that it generates. As you can see, the can is completely ripped open, even though it was open at the top. So it went through the can and also through all of the bottles except the last one. This is just another penetration test. It goes through the two bottles at 18 meters very easily, and also the pellet has enough energy to completely mushroom. This is 50 meters, 24 shots, and the first shot is just a reference point. I aimed for that point the whole time. As you can see, there was a lot of wind, but the 25 grain at around 1000 feet per second really buckles the wind quite nicely. There's a couple of flyers, but really not something to worry about too much. But overall, very good grouping in the wind. I could really recommend this combination up to 50 meters. The coin you see is a 5 rand. That's just smaller than an inch. So that's basically the kill zone on small game. And at 50 meters, you can easily hit that. You will just have to compensate a bit for the drop as your pressure goes down in the gun. But if you learn the gun and you know where to shoot and where to aim for each shot, and you keep track of your shot count, then 50 meters is really easy for this gun. This is a 90 meter 24 shot group that I did. The first shot was a bit high. I accidentally overfilled the gun by just a tad, and the first shot went out at around 1200 feet per second. But after that, the gun was at the correct pressure and performed as expected. Also, there was a light wind, but the 25 grain pellets at around 1000 feet per second really buckles them quite nice. There were also a couple of flyers, but not too much. Also, it could have been the wind that picked up at that stage, but I am pretty happy with that grouping. Again, you can see at 100 meters, if you are shooting at pigeons or squirrels or small to medium game, you can still hit the kill zone relatively easy, but you will have to compensate a lot more for the bullet drop as the pressure and the speed also drops. This was a ground squirrel at around 48 meters, and as you can see, a lot of wind, but I just hold dead on, and you can see there's a lot of energy being transferred, and the squirrel does a front flip from all of the energy. The clips that you'll see now are from a little older video that I did a hunting comparison. So if you've seen that video, you can skip the rest of this one, or if you haven't, you can go and check out that video. If you haven't seen that video, just a short recap on the hunting capabilities of this pellet. This pellet doesn't penetrate like 18.13. This pellet mushrooms. It explodes and completely demolishes the target that it hits. If you are using it for hunting something to eat, I would not recommend that because it completely destroys all of the meat. But if you are using it for pesting and for rats and for something you just want to put down humanely, this is a very good pellet to use. This pellet also buckles the wind very good. So if you're going to take longer shots on a bit more tougher of a quarry, then this is also a very good pellet that I can recommend. So, in conclusion, the 25 grain JSBs work quite well in more powerful PCP airguns like the Sumatra that I tested them in. They also work quite well with the wind on longer distances. They have a bit more flyers than the 18 grain JSBs, but if you just look at your pellets and the skirts and just make sure that everything looks correct, then you have a quite nice longer range pellet. Thank you for watching, and like this video and subscribe if you liked what you see and you would like to see more.